Who's running with the first team? We'll tell you coming up next.
You are Locked On Lions, your daily Detroit Lions podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello there. Welcome. Locked On Lions, Locked On Podcast Network. My name is Matt Dery. This is a Wednesday, July 26th and a Thursday, July 27th. Thanks for checking us out and listening to me banter for the next 20 minutes or so. Right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your daily one-stop shop for all things Detroit Lions. Thanks for making us your first listen, checking us out wherever you get your podcasts. More importantly, thanks for just supporting us and telling your friends about Locked On Lions. The YouTube numbers are way up. The comments are there. People are excited. Thanks for choosing Locked On Lions today on this Wednesday. Tomorrow, Justin Rogers, Detroit News Lions beat writer to the Stars, is going to join us. Lions have a day off tomorrow. That means Justin has a day off tomorrow. And we're going to talk to him tomorrow right here on this very program. Today's show is brought to you by our friends at eBay Motors. A championship team is about each player being a perfect fit. Same with your vehicle. So for parts that fit, head to eBay Motors and look for the green check. Stay in the game with eBay. Guaranteed fit. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. eBay. Guaranteed fit. Only available to U.S. customers. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. Coming up on the show today, starters, second teamers. We're starting to see some things down at Lions training camp. And again, it's just starting. They're 4 days in, but some people running with the first team, some people running with the second team, and also some injuries. We'll get into all of that coming up on today's show. Also, kicker battle heating up. Yes, John Parker Romo and Riley Patterson. Where is this thing headed? Could Michael Badgley be back? Could they sign Robbie Gould? Well, we saw a sign today of some iffiness from both kickers. We'll get into that coming up. Also, a little NFC North quarterback news. Justin Fields made the NFL's top 100, and there are some preposterous numbers here that I want to get into. Also, first day of Packers camp, Jordan Love, woo, not so good from what I've been reading. So all of that today right here on Locked On Lions, and a little bit of a fan balloting as well that I want to talk about here on the program. The everydayers, shout out to you guys. Thank you so much. I got a tweet last night from a guy, and of course I am completely botching this. Oh my goodness. See, I was not prepared to do this today, and I should have been. My guy, Daryl W. Cole. Daryl Cole. Thank you, Daryl. Daryl tweeted to me at Dery Speaks last night. By the way, you can also tweet to us at Locked On Lions. Check us out on Threads at The Real Matt Dery Facebook fan page, and as well, please watch us, subscribe for free, all of that stuff. Watch us for free on the Locked On Lions YouTube channel. But Daryl Cole sent me a tweet yesterday, and he said, if you aren't listening to Matt Dery and Locked On Lions, you are missing the most objective Lions coverage out there. Honest, hopeful, clear. I try to be those three things. Dery gets it, and as a many decades suffering fan, his clarity is needed and sobering. Oh yeah, let's go One Pride at Locked On Lions. Daryl, thank you. You made my night last night. That was really, really cool, and I really appreciated it. So he's an everydayer, and shout out to Daryl, and we appreciate him listening, watching, and wherever he finds us. All right, I've just wasted 4 minutes. Let's get into it. So 4 days into training camp, you got some guys injured. Jamison Williams is working out on the side. Marvin Jones. We know about Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Finding a couple of things interesting when it comes to who's getting some first team reps here early in camp. Now, again, this team's not going to play a preseason game until like August, 9th or 10th against the Giants. They're going to have some, combined practices, inter-squad practices, whatever they call them, joint practices, the Giants and Jaguars. But number one, the right guard position is, as Dan Campbell puts it, wide open. Graham Glasgow, to me, is not really somebody that I would view as an upgrade at right guard. I think Graham Glasgow's best football is behind him. I think he's a solid pro. I love that he's back. He's a great guy. And I think for depth, he's a good guy to have on your team. You know, he can play center. You know, he can play guard. And he was a starter for many years for the Lions. Never an elite player. Left in free agency to go to the Denver Broncos. Right now, Dan Campbell says that Halapoulivaati Vaitai and Graham Glasgow are competing for the right guard position. Now, a couple of years ago when Vaitai played, he played very well. Then he got injured and missed, most, if not all of last season. Actually, he did miss all of last season. So Vaitai versus Glasgow is something to watch. I still think that Big Hal is the better player, but it is something to keep an eye on. All right. Now, Vaitai is hurt at the moment and didn't practice today. So Graham Glasgow ran with the first teamers. What is so important about why I'm talking about this is because this offensive line is what's going to make this team go. Ragnow coming back from the toe injury. Panay Sewell's unbelievable. Taylor Decker's really good at left tackle and it seems like he's gotten better with age. And Jonah Jackson is a Pro Bowl caliber left guard that, oh, by the way, is going to be a free agent after this year. But right guard spot's important. We saw last year at times when Evan Brown struggled there, when Dan Skipper had to play there, Logan Stenberg had to play there. That was sort of the weak spot of the Lions offensive line. So Vaitai, to me, I'm hoping he wins a job because I think he's a better football player right now than Glasgow is. Also today, a couple of rookies joined the first team and were starters today. Now, again, it doesn't mean that much, but I got to talk about it because this is what the coaches want to see, right? They wouldn't elevate these players if these players weren't performing. And the first one is Jack Campbell. All right. First round pick, of course. Lions took him at 18, where a lot of people thought they were reaching for a middle linebacker, inside linebacker, old school throwback Chris Spielman type. Jack Campbell is running with the first team today. Now, if you remember during mandatory minicamp, when Jack Campbell was out there, Derek Barnes was the starter. Barnes said today, I don't care if I start. I just want to know if I can play. But it seems like right now on the linebacker depth chart, you're interchangeable with Barnes and Campbell. And again, Jack Campbell's a first round pick. He's going to have to play. You've got Alex Anzalone out there, the Gaines Media poster boy. And also Malcolm Rodriguez, who was a year ago at this time, the hero of the team. Rodrigo, I think right now is the odd man out, but he's going to be a big cog and key on special teams. But Jack Campbell got some first team reps today. I like it. He wasn't drafted in the first round not to play. So keep an eye on that as this linebacker battle is heating up a little bit. Also, Sam LaPorta running with the ones today. This should not come as any surprise to anybody. And from the people that I talk to, they say when you watch Sam LaPorta play, he just looks the part. He looks like a pro already. Tight end from Iowa, former roommate of Jack Campbell's, is already picking it up. Look, you talk about the offense, and I know we've had discussions about wide receiver depth. We know the O-line's really good. We know the running back room is loaded. We know Jared Goff's going to be the quarterback. Maybe they'll add Teddy Bridgewater with Nate Sudfeld and all that. But, tight ends, no one's talking about, the Lion tight ends. If you talk about tight end rooms around the league, a lot of teams, including the team the Lions are going to see in the opener, Kansas City, can boast, multiple tight ends, guys that can do it. But the Lions tight end group was pretty solid last year, not spectacular after Hawkinson was let go. Brock Wright had the big game against the Jets. Of course, Shane Zylstra, the Flying Zylstra brothers, had the big game against Carolina. They like Mitchell. We'll see, what he can do this year. But Sam LaPorta can be special and can be a target for Jared Goff, especially in play action. And he was running with the ones today. All right, I got more on these starters and some other notes from camp today. We'll do that coming up next. But first, I got to tell you about our friends at BetterHelp. Locked On Lions is sponsored by BetterHelp. All right, sometimes in life we're faced with tough choices and the path forward isn't always clear. We know this. Trusting yourself to make decisions that align with your values is like anything. The more you practice it, the easier it gets. That's why you got to start thinking about some therapy and talking to somebody. And I know I do it. All right. Have a therapist and everything else. It's been a rough few years for a lot of us, right? But BetterHelp has something for you that can really help. If you're thinking of starting therapy, you got to give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist. And great news is you can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. That's awesome. All right. Peace of mind for you. Let therapy be your map with our friends at BetterHelp. It's simple. Visit BetterHelp, HELP.com/lockedon today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/lockedon. Please give BetterHelp a try. All right, so I was mentioning some of the people running with the first team and everything else, and what the Lions are looking at 4 days into training camp. Interesting of note, the last couple of days, is that on one side you've got Aiden Hutchinson. We talked a lot about Hutch on yesterday's show. Go back and check it out, where I mentioned that he's number one on my list to be a first-time Pro Bowler for the Lions. But on the other side right now, you've got Charles Harris repping ahead of Romeo Okwara. Now, these two guys, if healthy, and if kind of back to the form that they were 2 years ago, and really for Romeo 3 years ago, it's exciting because it just gives you multiple options to rush the passer. Multiple guys, veteran players. Harris has been around, of course, drafted in the first round by Atlanta. Romeo's been around, got the big contract a few years ago from Brad Holmes, 3 years, $39 million. Those guys can get to the quarterback, and they're physical players. Last year, we could tell Charles Harris just was not right. He was just not healthy, missed games, and then was out. Okwara, coming back from the Achilles, didn't join the team until the Jets game and immediately made an impact. But now getting a full camp, getting a full preseason, and coming back is important. Hutchinson, James Houston, and we're seeing it with Charles Harris right now, kind of repping more ahead of Romeo Okwara. Is that because they're easing Romeo in? We'll see. But that's something to keep an eye on. The other thing, too, is without Chauncey Gardner-Johnson out there, I said this the other day, this is going to be more of an opportunity for the rookie from Alabama, Brian Branch, to really shine and get some opportunities to play with the first team. But he's injured right now and did not practice today. Now, with the team not practicing tomorrow, we won't hear from Dan Campbell until Friday on what the story is with Brian Branch, who has a bright future with this organization and was a second-round pick. So with Branch and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson out, that has opened the door for, yes, here we go again, the Will Harris experiment, the Will Harris experience, the Will Harris era, back at that nickel spot where he can kind of be a hybrid safety cornerback. And then after him today, we saw Chase Lucas out there. You know, we've mentioned so much. We've talked so much about the new cornerbacks, Mosley, who's still on the NFI list, and Sutton, Gardner-Johnson, Will Harris back, Jerry Jacobs back. We haven't talked about Chase Lucas. This is a big camp and a big preseason for the former 7th round pick. This is a Brad Holmes draft pick, whether it was 7th round, 2nd round. Holmes liked him enough to take him. And he's going to get an opportunity because we don't know how long Gardner-Johnson's out. We're not sure yet what Branch's injury is. You can never have enough corners. So interestingly, we saw some of Chase Lucas, and there's other guys out there, Savion Smith and others, that are getting an opportunity. But I'm interested in seeing how Chase Lucas kind of, takes the ball and runs with it when given that chance. But that's who was out there today, getting more reps with Gardner-Johnson and Branch out. So we will have to see about that. As far as the kicking situation, look, you guys know how I feel about the Lions. I think they're going to be good. I think they're going to win the division. I'm excited. All right. What I'm not excited about is this kicking situation. All right. The Lions haven't found a kicker in 3 years. They haven't. Since Matt Prater left and was lowballed and offered 1 year and Arizona offered him 2, the Lions, place kicking situation has sucked. All right. Now, Michael Badgley out. And at the moment, you've got Riley Patterson, whom the Jaguars dumped to sign Brandon McManus. And of course, Patterson kicked the game winning field goal in that come from behind playoff win over the Chargers last year. Former Lion is back. And the XFL legend, John Parker Romo. Today, both guys kicked at the end of practice. Both went 4 for 5 in field goals, but both missed from under 40 yards. I think Romo missed from 38 yards and Patterson shanked one from 33. Like, come on, fellas. You got one job to do. I sound like former 97 Won the Ticket program director and legend, rest in peace, Tom Bigby. Come on, guys. Talk Lions. Matt, tell Mike to talk Lions. But come on, guys, seriously. You got to be knocking through field goals with no pads on and no pass rush from under 40 yards. Could this signal a Robbie Gould signing? Who knows? Knowing Brad Holmes, Patterson will win the job. Parker Romo will be like on the practice squad or something. Then he'll cut both guys and sign. That's what he's done in the past. Remember Randy Bullock and Matthew Wright and Seibert? I mean, it's just been a musical chairs. But today's update, both guys 4 for 5, but both guys missing field goals from below 40 yards. So that's not what you want to be seeing. All right, I got a little fun tweet to mention. It was a poll put out about fan bases and NFC North quarterback update. We'll do that coming up next right here on a Wednesday, a stormy Wednesday, Locked On Lions. Matt Dery back with you. Thanks for checking us out wherever you get your podcasts, making us your first listen each and every day as well. All right, what should I do first? Let me do this. My brother actually sent me this today, and he was talking about something that he saw online off of Twitter. It was, if I could find it here, the most intelligent fan base in the NFL, according to gambling.com. Just bear with me on this because I thought it was some fun. The full list. The Buffalo Bills fan base is considered the most intelligent fan base. The least intelligent, the New York Giants. I don't know what the intelligence scale is on this. I don't know if it's just, because Bills Mafia tailgates and jumps through chairs and tables. But the top 5 for intelligent fan bases. See, if I had to guess, I would say from a football standpoint that the Green Bay Packer fans are very intelligent because that's the only team that they have. That's like talking about intelligent basketball fan bases. Like go to an Indiana Hoosiers basketball game at Assembly Hall in Bloomington. All right. My son goes there, right? They care about football a little, but they're so intelligent about basketball. Kansas, so intelligent about basketball, right? North Carolina. Packers, their fans, this is all they have. Packers actually came in 5th. It was Bills, most intelligent, followed by Browns fans, Buccaneers, Kansas City Chiefs, and Green Bay Packers. Dallas, Rams. I didn't even know the Rams had fans. Texans, Dolphins, and Broncos round up the top 10. Lions fans come in number 14, almost smack dab in the middle. So congratulations, Lions fans. In a study done by gambling.com, Lions fans are ranked the 14th smartest in the league. Last is the Giants, like I said. Vikings come in at 31. Jets, 3rd last. Bears, 4th last. And Titans, 5th last. I have no idea how they did this study or what it means. But all I know is Giants fans are ranked least intelligent. And the Bills fans are ranked the most intelligent. Look, up in Buffalo, it's just Bills and Sabres, really. So maybe they pay closer attention. Maybe they know more about the game. But Lions fans, you came in at number 14. So you're at least you were on the top half and not the bottom half of the league. Because, of course, the midway point is 16, which was the Chargers. Where are the Eagle fans? 18. That surprised me a little bit. So there you go. Lions fans, we made the top half, according to gambling.com. All right, 2 more notes before we get out of here about the NFC North quarterbacks. And there's been a lot of discussion. I've been on some shows as a guest. Who's the best quarterback in the division, Matt? And I've said, well, I think Jared Goff's playing the best right now. I think Kirk Cousins, because he most recently won a road playoff game for Minnesota and New Orleans, you can make that argument. I'm not going to say Justin Fields and certainly not Jordan Love. But I did see something yesterday. When we talked about Aiden Hutchinson making the NFL's top 100 players at number 88. So congrats to Hutch. Did anybody else see this? Trevor Lawrence came in at number 96. Trevor Lawrence was a stud last year for Jacksonville. Yes, played poorly against the Lions, but still. They won playoff games last year, the Jaguars. He came in at 96. Hall of Fields came in at 86. What? Who out there thinks Justin Fields is better than Trevor Lawrence right now? Show of hands. Anybody? Is this thing on? Come on. No. It should be flip-flopped. You want to put Fields in the top 100? I'm not. All right. Great runner. I get it. 1,000 yards. Whee! But 10 spots ahead of Trevor Lawrence? No, I'm not buying that. That's number one. Number two, the Green Bay Packers opened up training camp today up in beautiful, robust, jumping Ashwaubenon, Wisconsin. And all reports are that while it was a windy day up there, Jordan Love was having a little problem with the deep ball. Twice was trying to hit Musgrave, his new tight end, underthrowing everything deep or 20 yards or more. This is day one of Packers camp. Now, again, windy day, it's camp, might be a little rusty, but Jordan Love today, apparently 7 for 14 and had trouble with the deep ball. Intermediate and quick stuff, short stuff, fine. But anything deep, he was having issues. So just watch for that. I found it interesting too today. Jordan Love said that Aaron Rodgers texted him last night, wished him luck on his first day of training camp. So great job, Aaron. You're an awesome teammate, or at least former teammate. All right, that'll do it for us. Justin Rogers, DebtNews.com, star beat writer for the Lions for the Detroit News, is going to join us tomorrow right here on the Thursday edition of Locked On Lions. Lions taking tomorrow off. Be back on the practice field on Friday. Appreciate you guys checking us out wherever you get your podcasts. We'll do it again tomorrow with JR.